Coming up today on Locked On Texas Tech, number 1 in your hearts, number 4 in the nation.
You are Locked On Texas Tech, your daily podcast on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Great to be with you again on Locked On Texas Tech on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Now the number 1 sports podcast network in the world. And thanks as always for making us your first, second, third, fourth, or fifth anytime listen. And today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you're getting $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So download the app today with the only Chris Level. I'm Casey Cowan. Chris, great to be back with you once again, and off the cuff as we are looking forward to a couple of editions of what we call college football playoff rankings that seem to be more and more significant each time we get around. And this one, no different than that. The biggest yet, and let's get right to it. Going to throw it on the screen for those watching on YouTube. We'll catch you up if you are listening via podcast. But as it sits here this week, see Texas Tech as the number 4 team in the nation. And as it stands, Chris, that would mean a Red Raider team that, if things go according to what we hope they go according to, would receive a Group of 5 conference champion versus Oregon winner. We know there's a huge one left out there for us this weekend. We're going to get to that, and also some hometown celebration back in the LBK, because we got a new deal to discuss for our guy, Joey McGuire. But there it is, a thing of beauty, a potential playoff bracket involving Texas Tech as the number 4 seed. What are we making of it?
Oh, the places you'll go and the places you'll see, but take me back to AT&T. That's what you're seeing. If you win on Saturday, I think you are looking at a quarterfinal playoff game back at AT&T Stadium for the Cotton Bowl. I think that's what they are saying to you. I can't say that with 100% certainty, but that's the way it all points. That's the way it would seemingly work. I mean, are you kidding me? And yes, you have to win on Saturday. I think what you also are seeing by moving up to 4 is that, Callan, I mean, if you lose by, say, 28 points or something, then what I'm going to say probably doesn't hold true. But even with a semi-close loss, it does appear that you would still be in a position to host a playoff game if it doesn't go well on Saturday. Either way, it's a phenomenal spot. I was over there today, and you're hearing from Baron Morton and Romello Height and Jacob Rodriguez and Cam Dickey. They are not really caught up in all of this, don't really care. They're focused solely on BYU and hoisting up a trophy for their head coach, who will now be here for a long time. We'll get into that. But this is kind of what we thought on the ranking, and it has happened. If you're now, we tossed this out in the last several weeks. It's been asked of us. We've kind of had an opinion, kind of not had an opinion. It's kind of been awkward to discuss. But now that it's sitting here staring you in the face, do you want to buy or do you want to have a home playoff game? Gosh dang it! If you're sending me back to AT&T, give me a freaking buy. Come on, let's go, man. Let's freaking go.
We're talking about a dream scenario. If the stars were to align, I think that we're describing them there. But also with a big hat tip, no doubt, tipping the Stetson to the Aggies for the buckling that they put on. So that essentially allowed us to even get further into this dream scenario, Chris. So I want to make sure and make mention of that. But when you're talking about the Red Raiders not getting bogged down in what I've got on the screen right now, that's all fine and well for the locker room. But you and I, the Locked On Texas Tech family, the Matador Mob, I'm bogged down in it, because to see what we're seeing on a national type of stage is just something that is still kind of startling to me. So I got to be honest, I am getting a little bit distracted with just the possibilities and some of the company that you're keeping here this week.
Yeah, and keep in mind as you look at that, Ohio State or Indiana, somebody's going to be coming off of a loss. There's a guaranteed win there and a guaranteed loss based on the Big Ten championship game. It does appear that Texas and Vanderbilt, Miami are probably out. Miami may have a slight chance, but in what's fascinating is Notre Dame fans got all over Joey McGuire in recent weeks because of his comments about them not being in the conference and this and that. There will be no bigger Texas Tech fans than Notre Dame this weekend, because Notre Dame could potentially be out altogether with a BYU win, because it would put BYU and Texas Tech in the CFP, and Notre Dame could in fact be the one that gets put on the chopping block. Again, not my problem. So we appreciate the cheers from the Irish. Rudy was offsides, but hey, we'll appreciate the well wishes and everything on Saturday morning at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. But yeah,
not
man,
in Hollywood. He wasn't. Not in Hollywood. That's my Rudy.
Yeah, that's
Shout
right.
out to Ned Beatty.
Yeah, but yeah, it's funny about that movie, because there's a scene in that movie where the dad walks into that stadium. He's like, "This is the most beautiful sight these eyes have ever seen." I may feel that way come Saturday morning as we get ready to kick off the Big 12 championship game. Again, just wasn't sure you're ever going to see it, but I'm ready for it. And but this is, and it's a credit to the business that you took care of on Saturday in Morgantown, Calvin. I mean, that's it. You left no doubt, fake punts and all. You did exactly what you were supposed to do, and I think that you're being given a lot of credit here for the command of what you've done with so many of these games you've been in, and again, the only loss on the road in front of a packed house and with a backup quarterback. So, yeah, there you go. But those are my thoughts about these rankings right here.
Savor the flavor. We have not spent a ton of time getting bogged down in the number thus far, but I'm going to go ahead and serve, if I need to, as the voice of those Red Raiders out there this week that are making a little room to maybe dream a really big dream whenever you consider just kind of the stage and the space that you're occupying right now within college football. As to what's coming up this weekend, Chris, as we've talked about already this week, that's been affected by news otherwise. Coaches in the crosshairs, as we've talked about recently. And before we get to the other side, how about a celebration back in the 806 for Joey Maguire? First, today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. And football is in full force, and FanDuel's keeping you stocked with action every game day with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet only $5, and if your bet hits, you're getting $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Player props, building a same-game parlay, or even jumping in live as the action unfolds. Any way you like it, FanDuel has you covered. Quick, easy, and secure every time. If you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. 7 years, averaging out, 6, 7, maybe 7+ annually. No big deal. Don't get weighed down by the numbers. What we're talking about here is a commitment. And what it sounds like to me, I'll let you get to this in just a minute, but what it sounds like to me also is a number that maybe reflects sort of widespread commitment with some of those who have contributed to this effort. I'll just say thus far.
Yeah, this has been in the works. I think that Joey never had any reason to worry about him being taken care of. I think Joey's concern is, again, this program, this fan base, but also the people around him. And he's worth every single penny that he's going to get in this new contract for what he has. I mean, think about it. I had a former coach call me earlier, and we talked. He's got some ties to the situation that's going on at North Texas. we're talking about Neil Brown, who just got that job, former Texas Tech offensive coordinator. And he said, you're going to laugh when I say this to you, but I think Texas Tech is a top 5 or 10 job in the country. And I said, I'm not laughing at all. I think some may scoff or want to argue with that, but in the current state that things are in, you have one of, if not the best facility in the country. You've got a league that gives you access, and it's a manageable league. I think that's important to note. I think you are recruiting at an extremely high level, as we'll find out, in the morning. You're going to ink a top 20 class, and I think it's even better for 2027. And now you've got the right guy in charge that glues it all together, and you're going to keep him here for the long term. And I think that for whatever reason, I think some people are fearful or just trying to protect their emotions. They're like, man, can I really believe this guy when he says he's going to be buried here? He's going to quit here. 1,000%. If Joey's not here, it will be Texas Tech's decision, not his. This is where he wants to be. He wants to be here long term. And I'll tell you who I'm thrilled for on a day like this when this news comes out. The CFP ranking, the contract extension, all that is his lovely bride. This thing means as much to her as anybody out there. Trust me when I tell you, she's all about this community and just happy for that family. But Callan, you're right. I think that he could have gotten more. If his agent and him wanted to be like a jerk about it, they could have gotten more. And he's got some incentives in there that I think are easily attainable that will grow it. And I think all he's worried about, which a lot of coaches are worried about, like what can I do with my people around me? And it's not just his staff, but can we still go be very active in the NIL world? Can we still operate at the highest share of revenue share and all that stuff that is allowable, so we can compete? We can put together defensive lines like you've seen, so we can go get a quarterback in the portal. I can't wait for that little doozy of news if it goes the way that some hope.
For our podcast friends, that was a Chris level lean in, though not quite a Chris level file it away.
Yeah, that's right. This was, again, this has been in the works. There was no stress here. I did think it would probably come out next week. Maybe it wasn't planned to come out, and sometimes you can't control the timing of it. If somebody finds out about it and they run it and all that stuff, and then you just kind of go, hey, screw it, let's acknowledge it, because it's not even technically 100% finalized, but it's pretty much all agreed to and all those things. So but yeah, long-term contract, no issues, and you're right. I think there's plenty in there to try to take care of the people around him, and that includes coaches and players.
So what do you think is next? Are we immediately talking coordinator news at some point, even if not in the near future, or I guess we don't necessarily know, but is that the next logical expectation?
Yeah, I think your two coordinators and James Blanchard. I don't know in what order you will get those, but I think the one thing you can't protect from is if somebody wants to talk to Mac or to Shield about being a head coach. That's a different ball game. But these two folks are not going to go be coordinators elsewhere. I've had people, and you're aware of that, Callan, that have reached out. Hey, man, would Coach Wood, would he do this? Would he do that? I mean, not as a coordinator. You want to talk to him about being a head coach? I mean, maybe, because I think there was people asking about North Texas and even now Tulane and all that stuff. But I think that's the next step, is that you'll likely see something about your coordinators at some point. I'm not saying anything is necessarily imminent, and maybe it's already done. Who knows? But I think that was very important to Joey throughout this negotiation, if you even want to call it that. I think this is where the alignment comes back into play here. And I think everybody's on the same page. Hey, man, I want to do well, right? I'm sure that's what Joey's saying. I want to do well. I love it here. I want to enhance my own situation. But as important to me, if not more, is can we continue to still do what we're doing, and can I keep my people and really take care of them and all that. And I think everybody involved, very, very much in agreement there that they wanted to make that a part of it. So. Did he take less to make all that happen? I think you could probably argue, yes, he did.
Fine with it. Generally pleased with it. And as far as throwing around a couple million here or there, thumbs up, boys. Do what you need to do to get everybody back to what you said there. Shout out to the alignment crowd, the latest, greatest drinking game, brought to you by the Locked On Texas Tech universe, Chris, because I do know there's some out there. I've heard from some that when we talk alignment, it's bottoms up. And I'll tell you what, when we're talking alignment, generally that's a reason to celebrate, because that's pointing to things so far that have been going down smooth football-wise, right?
I mean, because with what you've seen over the last, say, 72 hours, with the chaos going on in the and we're about to get to some of that here in a minute as it relates to this weekend's opponent. This is exactly what people are searching for and demanding it being in writing. And this is what I need. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to have if you want to talk to me. This is what, and everybody is pointing to your situation. And not everybody is aligned in the way that you are, in that there's trust, there's no ego, there's plenty of resources. And yet nobody's like trying to be the guy, right? Nobody's trying to push their way in, and I'm talking about Texas Tech situation here, to where I must get all the credit. And you just hope that day never comes. Because if you can stay on the same page and keep rowing away here and keep doing your thing, I mean, you're going to be this. James Blanchard has said this before. He is on record as saying this. This isn't a one-year deal. This may just be the first year of us going on a run here. And I think that's the way that they're looking at it. Let's go swing away, man. Let's turn this into a 4 to 8 year deal, if you can. And so you've got some things in place in order to be able to do that.
Let it rain, baby. And that's exactly what they're saying in Provo, Utah, in a very sensible before 8:30 kind of way, Chris, because we've also got now, considering our opponent, some solidarity, I guess, back in place. I'm usually not concerned what others are doing with their money unless it leads to, guys like Lee Hunter from my favorite football team. But in this case, we're interested in what's going on in Provo, because what it means for the weekend. I guess some early indications that we were going to see possibly a team sans head coach on Saturday, and then a big swing. We had Crumble Cookie Bucks enter the picture. I guess some early indications that we were going to see possibly a team sans head coach on Saturday, and then a big swing. We had Crumble Cookie Bucks enter the picture, among other efforts. And now, latest reports indicate Kalani Sitake sticking around in Provo, and you're seeing some numbers out there reported, and correct me if I'm wrong, but most recently have seen 9.5 million annually kind of range.
And this is what I'm telling you. I mean, Joey is in a situation where, I mean, Coach Sitake is won 11 games back-to-back years. We don't know how this is going to finish up, but he was reportedly, and we don't know. I think BYU is much like a private school. It's not published. You can't. There's no Freedom of Information Act that can go secure the salary, but he was making about $3 million a year. I mean, you've got Lance Leipold making, I think, in the $7 million range. You've got Matt Campbell making $5 million. You've got, I mean, there's plenty of these, Sonny Dykes making a ton of money, which I think since that first year, they've been pretty much 500. And so that's why we kept saying that both of these two coaches were really underpaid compared to their contemporaries. And it wasn't going to last. And guess what? One day later, one day later, I wasn't quite certain that it would happen that fast. I knew it was coming. But here we are. They're now a lot richer than they were yesterday, both of them. I would say to you though, Cowan, what is interesting to me, and this is a Texas Tech conversation as much as anybody. I had somebody from that covers BYU call me and say, "Hey man, we owe you one," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I thought he meant we're going to get you on Saturday and all that stuff, and oh no, that's not what he meant at all. If you'll read some of the reporting about this BYU extension, it's a direct reflection of what Texas Tech has been able to do. And it's a bigger conversation to have. But I think what you're seeing reported is that basically Coach Sitake had leverage and he used it. And he put them over a barrel and was like, okay, I will walk to Happy Valley, and I don't have a cat fetish, but I know, I mean, a Nittany Lion is the same as a cougar, and there's 110,000 seat stadium there, and we can be in a much bigger league and all the things, or I can stay here, but you're going to give me what I want. And so part of this is it's not just his salary, but I'd be willing to bet you that there's some staff enhancements there. But the key here is that they've agreed to add in $10 to $15 million a year in NIL money on top of their rev share. Now you're saying to yourself, wait a second, what do you mean? I thought this house settlement was going to cap it. Yeah, this house settlement looked good and sounded good for about 10 minutes, and everybody is going above and beyond and is going to continue to go above and beyond. I mean, LSU was trying to offer Lane Kiffin, hey, we're promising him $25 million a year and extra, rev share money and NIL money, whatever. So because you kind of established what it takes, what it looks like, what it needs. And I'm not saying you were the only one, but in this league, as this BYU confidant said to me, you made BYU up their game. What you're seeing is what we've touched on. These are two programs that are now separating a bit from everybody else because everybody else is now playing catch up. Look at what just happened today with the contract extensions. Look at the way that these rosters are built. Look at the fact that they won 11 games each. And is that changing anytime soon? As long as the alignment stays and you keep doing what you're doing, I don't know why it would. And yeah, you need to be a little lucky and, with your players and health and all this stuff. But it is a fascinating time right now. But BYU kind of mentioned about tipping the old Stetson. They kind of did that with Texas Tech, or maybe it was Coach Sitake that basically was like, I want to do what they're doing. Otherwise, I'm out. And he, and he's going to get to be able to do some of that.
He said, I'm talking synchronicity, Holmes. Synchronicity, alignment, whatever. Chris, it's got to be, and you know that my conference pride pond, it runs as shallow as any pond known to man. You never hear me chanting Big 12 at any sporting event. It is Texas Tech versus everybody. 365, 24/7.
Yep.
But it's got to be a good marketing day for the Big 12 conference, doesn't it? I mean, you got more so, I think, just in the stiff arm to a Big 10 job, mostly from Provo, but good bit of news with McGuire too.
Yeah, I'm glad for the folks in Provo that they kept their. I think that was good for the Big 12 to keep Kalani. I think he's a good man. I think he's well respected. I think he's done a hell of a job. He is an ideal fit. As much as Joey is a fit in Lubbock, Texas, for what Texas Tech is doing right now, Kalani is the same in Provo. And everybody up there will tell you that. The crumble cookie money, and the guy was like, some people are not replaceable. It sounds like I need to get to work. So I just had no idea that all my dollars spent at crumble cookies was going to go to such an awesome cause. But
what you've done.
but yeah, I know. But I will tell you where I'm not going to wave the Big 12 banner. I'm not going to wave it. I'm going to get greedy. Again, take me back to AT&T. I said it at the outset. I'm not wanting to see that this is what it means. I don't want to see BYU in the CFP. Sorry, not sorry.
What a great way to wrap it up. All right, Chris, thanks for catching up. As we have here some college football playoff rankings to process that includes Texas Tech in a catbird seat of sorts, at least with a first-round bye and a number 4 seeding. We'll see how obviously it can change before it's all said and done with a conference championship game still on the horizon. So looking forward to continuing to get ready for that with you, and we'll see you for the next round, man. Enjoyed it.
I mean, are you kidding me? You get to go to AT&T on Saturday, which is surreal, and then potentially play for the right to go back and for it to count a whole lot on New Year's Eve. I mean, bring it on, everyone. Bring it the hell on. Signing day coming up in the morning. We'll have you covered on RedRaidersports.com with all the recruiting stuff if you're into that kind of thing. There's just a lot going on this week. We've got a lot more to get to as far as previewing the game coming up. Maybe a different way that you attack these guys this week compared to what you did a month ago. And so we'll get into all that stuff. And there's a lot going on in Lubbock, man. It's bubbling, man. And I hope everybody's enjoying it because I'm ready to continue to enjoy it. So, I use AT&T. I mean, I give them my money. I mean, Jones AT&T Stadium in Arlington. I mean, set up shop, man. Set up shop. We'll get after it. Sorry, I'll quit rambling. Peace out.
Back to the synchronicity. And I recall a national championship pursuit ran through the Metroplex and had some juice to it. So I wouldn't mind getting another one rolling through there again with a whole lot of red and black involved. All right, get subscribed on YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts so you never miss an episode. And, of course, thanks to the everydayers for always riding along, sometimes twice a dayers or more. Stay strapped in. It's only going to get busier. And, of course, the Matador Mob as well. Hit our show notes and find a link to a free 14-day trial. If you're interested in joining that crew, that's your direct line to Chris and myself with one-on-one text sent straight to your phone. For Chris, I'm Casey. Thanks, as always, for the time. We hope to see you back for the next round of Locked On Texas Tech.